much for tuning in to this exact same moment, time, and place. Today we have a beautiful special guest on our show who's going to show us the beautiful Buddha nature. And I'm very excited about this today because I'll be experiencing the Buddha nature with a past medical, I guess you could say, experience that I've had probably since I was about 10 years old. I had a slight injury that was involved with the lower part of my back, and it's really been coming up a lot lately, and I'm very, very excited to have Nicola explain to us what she's going to be doing and this beautiful, wonderful Buddha nature that she's going to expose us to today. I'm going to hand the floor over to you, love.
Thank you. Thank you, Anita, for having me. Yeah, I look forward to demonstrating the Buddha nature to you.
Thank you so much.
So I'm Nicola Bertolo, and I am a Houjyushu monk and have been for the last 23 years. And Houjyushu is a contemporary form of Buddhism that originates in Japan, and the founder or creator of this particular sect is, his title is Houjyu Daishonin, and that means the great vehicle of the Houjyu. Now the word Houjyu in Japanese means Buddha nature, one's Buddha nature, and with this particular sect of Buddhism under, Houjyu Daishonin, there are different disciplines that we practice in order to be able to keep our Buddha nature moving and in motion. And one of them is the chant. Okay. Another practice is removing, using a certain form, removing aches or pains or any kind of discomfort that a person has in their physical body. So I'm going to use my Buddha nature, connect to your Buddha nature, and see if we can affect a change in something that's bothering you physically today. Okay, so what's important before I start to do that is because Buddha nature is invisible and it's from the non-physical realm, right? I need to really make it like a scientific experiment or an experiment where we can really get you aware, as aware as possible of how your physical body's feeling right now. So if you can just stand up for me. Sure. And just roll your neck around. Your shoulders up and down. Okay, and just twist your back from side to side. And I'm checking in to see how I feel also. So right now, as you do that, what's bothering you the most in your physical body right now? What do you feel?
Absolutely. So I would say that in my lower back and my tailbone area,
Okay.
there is a slight discomfort, and it's something that has kind of popped in and out ever since my childhood. I had a really bad accident. And as of lately, I've been getting achy pain that's back here, and I've been using, heating pad, that kind of thing, as needed.
Okay.
And I don't have full, complete range of this area back here.
Okay. And how far down does it travel? All the way down to your tailbone, or?
Yes, right through in here.
Okay.
Yep.
And the width of it, is it like the width of the spine,
It's
or
like about this.
that?
Yeah.
Okay. And it's like a tightening when you go back.
Yes.
So that's what we'll focus on, that tightening, and also just to keep an eye on how far back you can go.
Okay.
Okay, so that far before you feel it. Okay, good.
Yes, like a stiff board.
Yeah. Okay, so you have a seat.
Okay, thank you, dear.
Now, to make things go faster, what you can do is, this here is a Gohonzon. This says what I was chanting before, Namu Hoju Myoho, and these middle two characters here are Hoju, which means your Buddha nature. If you focus there, that will make the experience a little bit better for you. Felt that?
Yeah. Can feel you pulling energy out. God bless you. Thank you. That was incredible work and energy you put into this and to me. Thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome.
I feel all of it.
Just
Thank
check your
you.
back and see how that feels. So you definitely have more range of motion. Is the tightness less?
Yeah, I can feel like there's a lot more flexibility.
Mm-hmm.
And I love what I'm looking back at.
Yeah. Good. So you definitely feel a change.
Yeah, shifted. I feel like if I stretch a little bit more. I was preparing myself for today because I was like, you know what, I'm ready to release anything that no longer resonates with me, and that fear, that injury, and the impact that I had, and the trauma that it caused. There's a lot of trauma that was involved with that.
Right.
And thank you for allowing that to have an outlet to escape itself.
You're very welcome.
God bless you. Thank you so much.
This is the main, or one of the aesthetic practices that we do. So what's happened today is that my Buddha nature, or Houjyu, has merged with your Buddha nature, or Houjyu, and given it motion. So we're not touching the physical, but within the non-physical realm, or whether it's the soul or the Buddha nature, whatever you want to call it, spirit, I mean, there's lots of different names for, you know, this non-physical realm that we're all of, that we all have an aspect of. What happens is that because it's not restricted to time, space, and mass, there's no separation. So I'm affecting, or my Houjyu is affecting your physical body by connecting with your Houjyu. My Buddha nature is connecting with your Buddha nature and moving it.
Like integrating.
Right, and through that motion, through that movement, that's affecting your physical body positively.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay? Not only your physical body, my physical body also. The more I do this, the more I practice this correctly, consistently, the better I feel. And so it's important, the originator of this work wants us to be able to prove beyond a doubt to ourselves that this aspect of self, the soul, the spirit, the Buddha nature, the Houjyu, actually does exist. And for the mind to acknowledge that something exists, beyond any doubt, it needs constant confirmation. And so the fact that I didn't touch you, and you experienced what you experienced, but what's most important is your experience was your experience, but that the pain is less, that you have, it was a long, you know, injury, and that you have more range of motion, and that we can see that you have more range of motion. The mind needs that. It needs that constant confirmation. And so that's why this is one of the aesthetic practices of Houjyushu, that we all must, you know, we want to meet as many different people as possible, and we all want to see if we can use our own Buddha nature to take away their pain.
That's lovely.
And if we take away their pain, and your pain goes away, and I feel lighter and better because my physical body's been positively influenced, because I'm moving my Buddha nature correctly with yours, right? When that happens, then that's proof that this aspect of myself exists. So the next thing I'd like to demonstrate to you, another way and another practice, as, you know, a member of Houjyushu, or even, you know, as a monk of Houjyushu, is another one of the aesthetic practices that we do is using our Buddha nature to attempt to change the taste of a beverage. So I see we have 2 bottles of really nice red wine in front of us. One is a 2012 Malbec, and the other one is a Chianti Banfi. Both really nice. Anita, I'll get you to pick one and open one up.
Sure, I think we're going to choose this one for our experiment today, if that's okay, sweetheart.
And even though it's a shame to change the taste of it,
I know, right?
you know, it is for our Buddha nature deserves a break. So.
Absolutely. Well, I rarely have a drink anymore. I find that on the special occasion of trying something like this, you know, one cannot pass up the opportunity.
No, one cannot. Wow, you did that very well.
Thank you. I had a great demonstrator, I must say. Just over here.
Okay, so if you can pour like the same amount in both cups.
Sure, absolutely.
Great noise. Oh, you're a pro.
Oh, thank you.
Okay, and if you can take both cups, both glasses, and just mix the contents back and forth 2 or 3 times.
Okay, sure.
Don't worry about spilling it.
Can pour, but...
Okay, and then, yep, separate it half into each cup. That's good. And then just taste them and make sure they taste the same.
Okay, sure.
Okay.
Yeah,
Same wine out of the same bottle, right? Okay. Now I know it's a good wine, but if you wanted to make it better, taste better, how would you describe? Okay, would you want it to be sweeter or drier? How would you like it to taste? If it could be, you know,
it could be altered.
more palatable to you.
Okay. I like a good berry taste to it.
Okay.
And I do like a bit of a bite with my wine. So yes.
Okay.
Those two things are what I generally look for in a wine.
Okay, great. So you want more of a bite, and you want it to be
More of a berry.
more of a berry taste with more of a bite.
Yes.
Okay, so more of a berry taste with more of a bite.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm going to take this one. We'll leave that one as the control.
Okay.
Okay, so the same thing. 半減お願いしますか。そうですよ、今回に。半減お願いしますか。そうですよ、今回に。Let's change the taste of this wine to be more berry tasting with a bite. Okay, ありがとうございました。Okay, if you can taste the control and then taste that and see if it tastes different.
Maybe Jonathan saying that's cute. That tastes the same. Same taste, same flavor.
So now taste that one.
I can definitely taste more of the berry in that.
Definitely tastes different. Can you taste it?
Can we try?
One definitely actually tastes berry with more sweeter than this one.
This one is a little bit sweeter. Yep, it
Yeah,
definitely is.
that's interesting.
And a little bit better tasting as well. Yep.
Good.
Wow,
That's interesting,
That's
right?
very interesting.
Isn't that amazing?
Wow,
That's amazing, right?
Yeah. Thank you.
that's amazing.
So what happened is that
Explain to us,
Yes,
darling.
what happened?
Explain to us what you did over there.
So what happened was exactly the same thing. My Buddha nature connected to the Buddha nature of the wine, and then based on how you wanted it changing, I merged with the Buddha, my Buddha nature, which merged with the Buddha nature of the wine, and turned it into whatever your intention was, which was, you know, more berry tasting with a bite.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
Oh, wow.
So
Isn't that
everything,
incredible?
and the fact that I'm going to taste it too.
Yeah,
Hold on.
go for it. Go for it. You taste your own product. I know I like a bite.
Oh yeah, it's very different.
Yeah, that's a lot softer.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. That's
goes down a lot
incredible.
easier.
Yeah. That's beautiful. Thank you, love, for sharing with us that. That's an incredible process that you
that's
just
amazing.
did.
So here, now that you've acknowledged that there's an actual difference,
Yes.
becomes the most important part. why is it that I'm able to do this?
Yes.
Right? How is it that I'm able to relieve your pain without touching you, and also change the taste of a beverage like this without adding anything to it, without heating it up?
You didn't touch it or anything.
Right?
Absolutely.
It was very
It was over here.
experiment. Yeah, right? You all saw that.
Yeah.
So this goes back to my initial experience with the founder of Houjyushu, Houjyu Daishonin. And what happens is that just by, as an enlightened being, he's an enlightened being since birth, just by sitting with him and being in his presence and choosing to do so, he is able to enlighten our Buddha nature.
Wow.
And what's actually happened is, from his description, and it's very hard to describe something that's non-physical with physical words, but how he describes it is that our Buddha nature, or our Houjyus, our souls, whatever you'd like to call it, it's like they're heavy. They're heavy and they can't move.
Yes.
And merging with him and with his Houjyu, because he's of the world of motion, enables our Houjyus to become lighter.
Yes.
And because they're lighter, they can actually move in their own environment. So they can move around in their non-physical environment. And because they can move, because my Houjyu could move after being with him, then he was able to teach me how to use it correctly, consistently. And the first thing that we did after sitting with him, immediately after, was exactly what I did to you. Take away your pain and then change the taste of a substance. Over there they use sake, Japanese wine.
Yes,
right?
it's lovely.
And there was a difference.
Right.
Now, I didn't have to believe in anything. I didn't have to think anything. I have no special talents, no special gifts. Anybody and everybody who is a member who decides to do that, all of them can do exactly the same thing.
I think that's so important. That's very key what you just said, because I want people to realize when they see this and they feel or grasp onto any energy from you explaining, is that they can do this.
Right.
You know, and it doesn't take a special gift. It just takes the belief, I believe, and just doing.
Well, I didn't even have to believe anything.
That's beautiful.
What it took was actually sitting with him,
just sitting
being with him, and he was able to, his Houjyu, or is able to make mine lighter, give it power to be able to move. There's a teaching that I'd like to read to you, if that's all right.
Absolutely.
Just grab it. As you've said before, as we were talking about before, you know, it's a really, really important time in the human race.
Absolutely it
There's
is.
a lot of evolution going on.
Yeah, correct.
And from Houjyu Daishonin's perspective, he looks at the evolution of mankind, and it's like it started with, one stage, if it was, from physical domination, right, into mind domination, which is where we're currently at. We're in a very mind-dominated world right now.
That's very true.
And we're moving from that into this non-physical realm, this non-physical aspect, whether it's the Houjyu or the Buddha nature or the soul or whatever you'd like to call it, is coming into its own.
Wow.
And as he says, it's coming into its own, but it has to be used correctly, consistently. And that's what this particular Buddhist sect is all about.
And you can see that with you. Your consistency is key in making every person that comes forth to you that work consistent, and it shows. And I could feel that from you. It's lovely.
Thank you.
It's very lovely.
So I'd like to read something that I took out of one of his teachings, if
Please
that's okay.
do, please do.
So people who have in the past and are now using aspects of their Houjyu or their soul or their spirit have placed their Houjyu or their soul or their spirit into the world of their minds, and from this level of understanding have decided that they can achieve a desired result from thought alone. As a result of this limited viewpoint, they only actuate a tiny aspect of this amazing and immensely useful Houjyu. And this is where mankind has made a big mistake. We in Houjyushu have discovered through actual proof that the non-physical realm of our Houjyu, our Buddha nature, soul spirit, has its own principles and its own fundamental truths. And from this perspective, whether we believe in it or not, we have found that by using our Buddha nature over and over again, all the while abiding by its natural laws, we have received tangible proof of the positive results of using these natural laws correctly, consistently. And this is the process by which our belief in our Houjyushu or Buddha nature and its power and importance in our lives has been confirmed. So his message is to, as we move into the spiritual realm, as we move into this non-physical realm, is to make sure that we all have checks and balances, that we don't just let our minds run away with us, and that we can acknowledge that something is actually happening, and that it's a positive thing. And because if there's a lot of negative things that start happening, then we're not using this part of ourselves correctly, consistently. It gets heavy again, can't move again. So the amazing thing about what I have found through Houjyushu is that these practices that I've just done with you, I do every single day. I chant every day, I take away pain every day, I change the taste of not wine every day, but orange juice or something else every single day, and taste it to see if I can taste a difference. And every day I can taste a difference, so every day I can acknowledge to myself that this aspect of myself does actually exist. And it's that confirmation that builds a strong foundation for this realm. So his teachings are that it has to be built on proof and consistency, because that's how we learn to use the physical world and its natural laws through trial and error. But you know, it's based on using the natural laws of the physical world correctly, consistently, over and over again, and that's how we have the world that we have today. So, you know, it's the same principles, except that we need to develop a new mind, because the mind that we use to develop the physical world does not have any information about developing the non-physical world.
You're so right about that.
Because because the natural laws are completely different.
Exactly, yes.
So that, you know, that's what I would like to share with everybody today.
That's incredible.
And that's, you know, this amazing aspect that we all have that's invisible, that we can't see. And we need to be able to confirm that it exists. And through my practice and what I learned, and through Houjyushu, first of all, having my, you know, my Houjyushu or my Buddha nature awakened or enlightened by my master, you know, by the teacher, and then from there having him teach me how to use it correctly, consistently. This has changed my life. It's changed my whole perception of life, my whole perception of reality, because it's not just about the physical. It's about, you know, knowing, wanting to believe that this realm exists, wanting to believe in the soul, wanting to believe in spirit is one thing. Knowing for sure, because you can confirm it on a daily basis, that is so important for the human race.
It really is.
It's so important, and it's our future.
Yeah, they always say proof is in the pudding, so if you're constantly doing it every single day, then you have no other way to say, okay, absolutely, this is true, this is happening, this is real. Absolutely.
And that's what builds a new mind. And that's what builds a new mind, because it's using a new world with new laws to be able to, you know, find different solutions to different problems. And that's what the founder wants us to be able to do. Become aware of this other aspect. Learn how to use it, get it enlightened, learn how to use it correctly, consistently, so that we can integrate it into our lives, and it can actually play an important role in helping us, you know, with the problems that we have on the planet today.
Oh, I love that. Thank you so much, sweetheart.
Thank you
for allowing us to come into your beautiful home and experiencing all this beautiful Buddha nature, and allowing those who are connecting today to feel that and see it firsthand. I think that is so incredibly important. Thank you again for having us today.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Angel Air viewers, for tuning in today. And may you be blessed, and may you continue to grow. Thank you.